and welcome to my demonstration of the manufacturing edition within Acumatica. I'm Tila Holloway, implementation consultant with GVO. If you'll notice here, I have our Acumatica instance open, and I am on the production manager dashboard. Within Acumatica's manufacturing edition, these dashboards will give your production team a look into the production process in real time at one glance. And they're going to be able to see reports and other built-in analytics. It's also going to give manufacturers a look into late orders, some work queue capacity, and labor material variance. You'll see all of these here. So here's your production order by status. So you can see 66% of our production orders are in the planned state. Any of our work queues, you'll learn here what the Work Center 40, 70, and 10 are when we dig in a little deeper into our production. These are projects by status, and we'll scroll on down here and you'll see orders not started yet and orders that need reviewed. In addition, we have our engineering dashboard, and this will give your engineering team a look into the engineering changes or approvals or standard costs. So you'll see here that up at the top, we have 2 change orders that are pending approval. So when we click into there, you're going to be able to, the change requests, you're going to be able to see those 2 items that are needing to have the approvals. And then these are the change orders that are needing the approval. You'll see here, it's telling us when it was requested, the effective date, and the status is pending approval. And you're also able to see who requested it. So before we get started here, let's go back to our production manager dashboard. And you'll see up here in the top right-hand corner, I am signed in as an admin, so keep that in mind as I navigate through this demonstration that I have access to all these different levels because I am operating as an admin and not as a production manager. You can see here, this is our different companies that we have within Acumatica, and I'm logged in as the product wholesale. Making our way across, you'll see this is our recent records. And you're going to be able, if you forget what record you were on, and you're like, I was just there a couple clicks ago, you're going to be able to open this up and get right there to that screen. Next, you'll see up here, this is the universal search. The universal search is great because you can put a keyword in and you're going to be able to look at menu items, transactions, help topics, and files. So let's just take a look here and type in the word production. And we can see we have 26 menu items that have the word production in them. And so then we would be able to find what maybe that report that we're looking for. We couldn't remember that it was called production order maintenance. Moving across the top, we have transactions and profiles. So you'll see that production order, we have one production order that is open, and you'll be able to click directly into this production order. Next is help topics, and it's going to pull any topics that have the word production. Lower right-hand corner, you'll be able to click the next button. Obviously, there is a lot of help topics that are available for production. Next, you're going to have files. Now, this is also a document management software, so these are any files that have been saved with the word production. So you see here, this has the PNG there within these user guides, and it's storing that within the files. So continuing on, you'll notice the GVO logo up here in the upper left-hand corner. This is how we get back to our home page. So if I was anywhere within the system and I hit that GVO, it's going to reload my dashboard because that's my home page. Going down the left side, these are what we call workspaces. Now, your menu over here can be customized depending on your job duties or tasks. So if you don't need to see payables, we can unpin that. If you do need to see estimating, we would be able to pin that to the screen. So it's very easy, and you're going to be able to manipulate to customize that for yourself. Also, within the dashboard, you would have the ability to design and change your dashboard to suit your needs, or maybe you want to create the dashboard that is suited for your team and you want them seeing specific items. You're going to have that capability to either allow customizing or not. So moving very quickly along here, let's go ahead and look quickly at a sales order. So we're just going to do a real quick look through of a sales order so that you're going to be able to see the look and the feel of a single sales order being entered on a basic level. And then we're going to move into those manufacturing modules to show a make to stock. So here we're in the native out of the box sales order. You'll notice that we have required fields. And let's go ahead and we're going to choose a customer. And we're just going to add a laptop. And as we make our way across here, we see our unit of measure. You see the quantity. Also, take a look here at the bottom. We show what we have on hand, what's available, and what's available for shipping. So we need 10 of those laptops. We're also going to see our unit price. Let's go ahead and make our way across here. You can see that if there was any discounts available, who the salesperson is, and if it's taxable. If this was something we didn't have in stock, if we needed to market for a PO, or if we needed to market for production. So commissions, we're going to be able to see who would receive commission. Financial is actually for our customer. So as we're looking at this and we say, you know, this is just a quick order for them, it's a quick turnaround, we don't want to give them 30 days, we're giving them 7 days. We're able to change it right here for a one-time on this sales order. Shipping is going to be how we're going to ship the product. If you want to have the integrations with UPS or FedEx or USPS, you're going to be able to integrate it and shop for rates as well here. And then you're able to show when it's going to be scheduled to ship. Addresses are the addresses that you will be shipping to and billing to. And if for some reason the actual ship to is different than the normal ship to for this customer, you would be able to change it here as well. If there were any discounts, you're going to be able to see those discounts broke out here. If you were noticing maybe a document or a line discount up here in your totals, you would be able to click and dig into those, and also be able to skip the discounts if you didn't want it to apply. Shipments is going to be able to be filled in once these items are shipped. We're going to be able to drill back down to that shipping record on this tab. Payment links are for when you send your invoice and you want to give them a click to pay link. This is going to give you your information here. Payments, once the customer pays, you're going to have access to those payments directly on this record and click into the payment if you needed to. Relations is going to deal with if you had any email activity or notes or maybe a case, you would be able to link those type of records within the sales order. And then totals is going to give you your freight information, your freight costs, order totals, and then if you have anything left to ship. Now, that went very quickly for your sales order, but we're not here for digging into the sales orders today. So we're going to actually click Quick Process, and now we're going to be able to choose when do we want to send this shipment. It's automatically going to create our shipment. We can tell it if we want our pick list, labels, and shipping confirmation printed. And then we get to choose whether or not we want our inventory updated, which we do want to have that updated. We want our invoice to be prepared, but I don't want it to automatically be released or emailed. One reason I would like to get to review the invoice before it's sent out. Also, if you have automation set up that your invoices get emailed out, maybe at 5:01 every night, you wouldn't have it automatically send it now either. So let's go ahead and click OK and let this start processing. So now the shipment's been created. And our inventory document's been created. You're going to see where all of these link together in just a moment. And lastly, our invoice was created. So let's say OK. We can now see our sales order went from an open status to a completed status. So let's take a look here at our shipments. So we would be able to see our shipment, and we can see what location it shipped from, our package weight, and the quantity that was ordered and the shipped quantity. We'd also be able to see our order and any of our addresses, and then packages that we potentially confirmed. But because we did a quick order, we didn't choose what box we used. Back on our sales order, let's go ahead and dig into our inventory. And you'll see here now that we have our inventory status has changed, because we were at 459 that were available, but because we shipped 10, now you'll notice our inventory count has gone down. And if we click on our financial, we would be able to dig into our journal transaction for the inventory. All right, let's go back here to our sales order. And now let's take a look at that invoice. Now that invoice still is on hold because we told it we did not want it to automatically release for us. So we want to take a look here and we say, yes, we agree. I agree that's the correct price. Okay, now I'm ready to release it. And now the invoice has been released. Now, at this step, like I said, it could either go into an automated process and it could be sent out every evening via email to your customer, or you would be able to click and be able to send right here from the invoice. And this potentially could error out because I don't think I have my email set up within this instance, but we'll go ahead and click it and hope we can at least see the layout. And like I thought, it did not like that. So we'll just say print the invoice. Since this isn't a demo environment, I don't typically have my email server on there, so it doesn't want to pop it open. So this is an out-of-the-box invoice, and we would be able to customize this any way that you wish to fit your business needs. Okay, now that we've talked about sales orders, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of bill of materials. Let's start with that. So in our inventory, let's take a look at one of our finished goods that is manufactured. And we're going to click right here on this Keurig. So we can see this is a manufactured finished good in our item class. We're also able to see the valuation method, any planning method. This also has lot serialized numbers, and it has the auto incremental value is set up as well. It's also telling us where the default warehouse is. We're going to be able to work our way across and see that the price class that this is associated with, the last cost to produce it, the default price. Under manufacturing, you're going to see the default bill of material ID. You're also going to see that this is a make to order item as well. If we click this little pencil here, we're going to be able to dig right into the bill of material from our inventory item. Now, as we see here, you're going to be able to see any of the revisions. So this is a revision A. If there was multiple revisions, they would show here. Each of these are going to have your work items. So remember when I said we'll dig into that WC10? That's our assembly. So we're going to dig into that in just a moment. But while we're clicked on assembly, we'll notice that the material that is needed shows up here down below. If you notice off to the right, we have what are called side panels. So if we wanted to see if there was engineering change orders associated with this Keurig model, we would be able to. So here we can see one is pending, and you can see that this still needs approval. You also would be able to see any of the change order requests. So you can see this is completed and it's moved to that change order, the date it was requested, and so on. Now, looking at our work center, we're going to be able to dig right into our work center. Anytime you see those hyperlinks, we're going to be able to dig right in to see more information. So you'll see here we have our general list, which gives our information about the cost, the capacity, basis for capacity, and any queue times finish time, move time, and if there's any scrap action. You'd also be able to see the shift, so the shift and crew size. You'd be able to dig into the work calendar and the labor code as well. If there was any overhead associated, you would see it here as well. If we keep moving on down the work centers, if there was any machines associated, they would be listed here. Now here's a feature that will help look and see where this, sorry about that, I got kicked off of there. So we'll click on where used, and it's going to tell us which bill of material this work center is being used in. So you can see here we have that entire list. Next, when we're on this bill of material, if we want to know exactly what this cost is to produce this item, let's see what it costs to produce 10 of these Keurigs. Now we're going to be able to see when we break it down for what our unit cost is and what our total cost is. How much of that's material and how much of it variable overhead and variable labor. So as I said, down here at the bottom where you have your material, you're also going to be able to click into that and you're going to be able to see each one of those items within your inventory. So next, let's move over and let's check our bill of materials, and let's look at our multi-level bill of material. And we're going to select the costed. And it's going to ask if we want to run the report for all IDs, and we do. And this is actually going to show, once it displays, it's going to show the multiple sub-assemblies required to make the finished goods as well as any components. It includes costs of sub-assemblies and components as well. So, and then within this, you're also going to be able to dig into those bill of material IDs as well. So now let's go ahead and let's make to stock an item. So what we're going to do is we're going to navigate to our production order workspace, and we're going to go over to new production orders tile. And when we click on that, it's going to bring us to the production order maintenance screen. And from this production order maintenance screen, we're going to produce a new order for the Keurig. So we're going to choose our inventory ID. and it's going to go ahead and pre-fill the majority of our information. We want to plan to produce, let's produce 5 of these items. We can see here where the warehouse is. You're going to be able to scroll on through and look at your totals tab, etc. once we release this hold. So we're going to save it. And now we're going to release the order. And you'll see here now it shows that plan status. And so we can actually see our totals as this happens. So now we're going to click over into our events tab and we can see that we created the order and now we have released the order. From the production order maintenance, we're going to be able to go into the more and we can actually see our production ticket. Oftentimes this is referred to as a job traveler as it travels across the shop floor. It could be used on a paper tablet, on paper or a tablet, and it shows that list of the operations, the work center, material, and steps. You can, as you can see here, there's actually barcodes, and if you're going to be using barcodes in your environment, then you would be able to utilize that feature here as well. So let's go ahead and go back to our production order. And then let's just take a look here as we move on along. We're actually going to be able to look at any of our production transactions, production detail. We could do any scheduling if we needed to create purchase orders, anything of that nature. So let's take a look at our production detail. And then within this detail, you're going to be able to see those details associated with producing those 5 work items. Using our side panel, we'd be able to jump right back over, take a look at our production order maintenance as well. In addition to the reports, we're going to be able to go to production order performance, and we would be able to see the performance there as well. We would be able to see the plan, the actual, as this moved on through. So to complete the order, we actually need to move these orders on through the system. So let me jump back here to our production order maintenance screen, and I'll be able to grab that order here that we have. So let's create the move. And we can release the hold. And we have our total quantity. We can click save. Oh, I did not get that all released. Give me one moment here. All right, there we go. Now it pushed on through. And now you can see that this has been released. So let's close this screen, go back to our events, and now you're going to be able to see that report we printed, and now we have moved those transactions as well. We'd also be able to create our labor transaction. And we'll remove that off hold, and we'll guess it helps if I put that labor item in there. We'll be able to save that, and we need to also add our inspection as well. We're going to say it took 4 hours. And from here, we're going to be able to save it, and we're going to be able to release it. So now we can close this, and let's go ahead and refresh this screen here. Let's take a look at our events, and we can see our labor transaction, and we can also see the cost transaction that's associated. And you can see here your labor cost transaction. We're going to also be able to see our totals. So we expected it to take an hour and a half. By the times I put in, I said 5. So we definitely went over budget on this. As you can see, again, using the side panels, we have now gained more side panels along here that is going to give us the ability to dive in deeper into those. So it's saying here, your recorded hours were way over budget, and there's cause for concern there. It's also showing the quantity complete. We completed them all, showing our cost variance and much more. So let's close this. Now says in process for our production maintenance. So let's go ahead and complete this order. And we would like to complete it. And then we'll get those serial numbers will all be assigned and such to the inventory. So there's an extremely high level, fast run through of a make to stock, showing the sales order and a little bit of navigation within Acumatica. Contact goVirtualOffice if you would like a demo or more information.